Hello, I'm Sam. You have no idea who I am, and that is okay. I'm gonna try something new here, because I got some brutal mental health that's been treated and untreated in every facet that you can think of in that realm. And it's interesting because I've studied mental health. I've gone through mental health treatment, so I know the right things to do, the things that I shouldn't do. But sometimes you just can't help yourself, and you just struggle. So, I have a good friend, Kaboom. So I'm gonna like try to put his link. I don't know how to do it on YouTube. I don't ever do anything on YouTube, so I have no idea what I'm doing. He does this thing called walking and talking, and that kind of like got me thinking here. So, you know, this is a really dumb and like crude joke that nobody's gonna think is funny, and I am fully aware of that. So I'm gonna run with it. We're gonna play some 40K here. Okay, here we are. This is our mission select screen. Oh wait, let me. This is Tooth. Okay. Tooth is your local O.G.R.Y.N. I'm not gonna explain the joke because it's crude and it's stupid. It's really bad. Anyways, I'm gonna play. I'm not gonna play on like Damnation because I'm not very good at this game. We're gonna join a quick game. We're gonna help people get through these missions because people struggle through these missions, and that's okay. So I'm gonna be here to help them. Although we got like leveled people. Normally it's like level 15 and 20 and stuff, but that's okay. Also, the game just got this massive update, so I could be trash now. I have no idea. Anyways, we're gonna move through this, and we're gonna talk about, I don't know, just stuff I feel like talking about while we move through this. I realize as I'm saying all this that this is more so for me than anything else. Yeah, definitely. Definitely is. But like I said, I've got a lot of ups and downs and in-betweens in mental health. I used to really want to like dedicate my life to mental health and being like a therapist, or like I did a couple year stint as a peer support, and I've always enjoyed talking to people about like those uncomfortable things in regards to mental health. I guess enjoy isn't a good word, but like, I don't know, I like being vulnerable, and I think the best way to make other people be okay with being vulnerable is to be like vulnerable alongside them and support them through it. Even if you're not saying anything, you can just like sometimes sit with people. I feel so damn slow, bro. It seems like they fixed some of the performance problems. Oh yeah, we go this way and this way. So that's cool. But we'll see. No, just kidding. The frames have left the building. Got him. Yeah, you know, like it's hard to be vulnerable. Why do I? Dude, I got 90 toughness. I have 0 toughness. Okay, sorry, I'm being like blindsided by new UI and 540 health. Okay. Anyways, it's not easy to do, but I think it's important, especially for growth and recovery in all of its forms. But as somebody who wanted to like pursue that, and I kind of like made it like a life's goal and mission a little bit, you know? So I was in the military. When I came home, I was struggling really bad. I had a a lot of stuff that was going on. That was away! Don't leave me! Although I'm supposed to be like doing my due diligence and following you guys and protecting you. Anyways, came home. I had a lot of stuff I was really struggling with. My wife at the time, all that, and so she, long story short, put me in the hospital. They admitted me, and you know, like I didn't even try to fight it or deny it. I just kind of accepted it. Anyway, so I did my like 3 days. They like regulated medication, all that jazz. I got out, but I had to seek outpatient like mental health, and the one that they set me up with was like group therapy. And for whatever reason, like, so when I got hospitalized, I was so mad at everybody. I had like family that came to visit me, and I didn't even want to see that. Like, I was just so distraught, really. And so I don't know if that like helped me inadvertently like get over or power through some stuff, but anyways, when I got out, I decided like I'm not gonna hold back. I'm not gonna like try to I don't know, hide anything that I'm suffering. Like, I'm just, if somebody asks, I'll tell them. I'm not gonna walk around and be like, hi, I'm Sam, I hate my life. But if somebody like asks me like, how are you today? And I'm not feeling good that day, I'll be like, I'm pretty ass, how are you? So I just made that mental shift at some point. And so when I'm in this group, therapy, you know, that's when I like went full bore with it. So like it was, you know, your standard group, like we're all sitting in a circle type of ordeal, and everybody is going around the room and we're sharing. And some people are like, you know, they felt some type of the same way, you know, sharing their story and stuff. And everybody's like, okay, no judgment, a very safe space. Some people, I would get to them and they'd be like, you know, I'm just struggling. And that was it. Okay, no problem. Some people didn't want to share. And there was one gentleman in particular, who I'll never forget. Why is my screen blank? I'm scared and I don't know what I'm doing. She's over there. My friends are up here. Running. Sorry, I'm trying to like hyper focus so I don't die and or lose my team. I also don't have bull rush anymore, which I kind of like forgot. So I'm trying a different build out with this new update, and it's like 10 trillion crazy builds that you can. So one person in particular, it got to them and they didn't want to share. And apparently like that was just like them. They had been in this group for I don't know how long, and ever since they've been in there they never wanted to share. But they asked them every day anyways, you know, when they got around to them, do you want to share today? And they'd say no. They said okay, and they moved on. So we go through that, it gets to me, and I'm just like, and I tell them like, oh, this stuff, like I tried to commit suicide, all this stuff about from when I was all the way back to when I was a kid, growing up until when I was in the military, and some of the stuff that bothered me and bothers me still to this day, quite frankly, and just stuff that I've held on to. I'm just like going in, and you know, and I'm getting like a lot of different feedback. A lot of people like, just like, I'm trying to think what it's called. when you study like mental health and you go through like engagement and communication and stuff, and you know, like you have like nonverbal cues to show somebody that you're paying attention. There's like a terminology that I'm trying to search for in my brain, but I can't find. Anyway, so a lot of people are doing that, like those nonverbals, like, oh yeah, okay, just shaking their head, acknowledging that I'm speaking, even if they're not fully paying attention. Stuff that makes you feel like validated and listened to. Anyways, going through. Okay. Some people are like, you know, getting like wide-eyed, like, oh, what the? Are you kidding me? Like, maybe teetering on the edge of not believing me or whatever, you know, standard stuff. Some people are just like, they don't care. But the point is that I'm not letting. I'm just gonna pretend like I'm the only one here, and I'm just talking. Go through, do that. Then they break us off into like smaller groups. And for some reason, it was just like the same thing, but in a smaller group. I don't know. I guess maybe the idea was like, you're more comfortable, it's in a smaller group. You have more like one-on-one time, I guess. We break into smaller groups. Different providers in there that's like leading the group. It's not the same people that were in there the first time. So you're basically just like retelling some of your story or like focusing on a different part. If I go through, I focused more on like the military side of things this time around. And the provider that's like leading our group looks at me and he goes, that really sucks. Like, that's just a terrible situation, and that really sucks. I'm sorry for it, you know, like all that. And most people up until that point had said things like, oh, it's not your fault, you could, whatever. Which, you know, well, you can have whatever opinion you want on that stuff, but like, it's validating for me. It was more validating to hear that it just sucked. It's like, yeah, that's awful. I don't know, I felt more sympathetic, and I guess that's just what I wanted to hear. I don't know. So that motivated me to continue. This is a very long-winded story, but these missions are long. So motivated me to continue to just be open and vulnerable and just say what I felt appropriate or whatever. And so go in the next day, do the same type of thing. I mean, go in the next day, do the same type of thing. Now, to a degree, like, you're just saying the same stuff, but I guess it's more so as well, like, how are you feeling in this moment? How are you feeling today? How was the rest of the night after you know, stuff like that. That is a little more specific, but I'm carrying the same, like, mentality. Just being open and honest. So we do it, the whole process again, you know, same formula. And there's a lunch in there, and we broke for lunch the first day. Same thing the second day. And so, break for lunch. I think they like had brought us food or something. I don't remember. Sandwiches or something. I'm in there getting food, and this guy, one that like never talks, you know, whatever. Like, just there because he has to be there, you know. Like, I don't think anybody that was in there was there by, like, on a voluntary basis. Like, it was like part of their treatment. They had to do it, or court-appointed type of stuff. But he comes up to me and he says, like, you know, I've been in here for a while. I don't actually know how long he had been in there, but he said something like, you know, I've been in here for a while, and nobody has ever, like, touched me with their story like you have, and I just want you to know that I really appreciate it, and it's changed for me. And then the very next like group setting that I go into, this person starts to just share, talk about their story, and everybody was like, "What?" Like it was such a like, "Oh, do you want to share?" No, okay. And then they got the, "Do you want to share?" Yes. And everybody was like, "What?" And he just started going off. And this is gonna sound terrible, but like I felt so good for forcing this person that didn't want to talk about their problems to talk about their physical. No, it wasn't. Like I felt like I had a purpose, like I did something good for once in my life. Because up until then, I felt like a deplorable piece of crap human at all times. Despite, like, you know, people saying that I wasn't the case or knowing that I did good things throughout my life, I just still felt like disgusting. I don't know. That moment really changed stuff for me, and that also helped me realize that like maybe that's like a gift that I have, talking to people, or maybe like I have, I don't know, a better penchant for it, or maybe all of this is actually it. Not maybe. All of the stuff that I've been through in my life, good, bad, and in between, has built me into the person that I am, and I can utilize that for more than just like grief, sorrow, guilt. I can extract some positive out of it if I'm like helping validate somebody else's emotions. And so that's when I really started to like invest myself into mental health, learning about mental health, like actually going and getting degrees and trying to study and just generally educate myself, hold myself to some different like standards. And now it's not easy because I still slip and fall all the damn time. I'm like the worst mental health advocate ever, because I'm like such a conundrum. Like, oh, don't feel sad, it's not your fault, and then I like turn the corner and I'm like, I hate myself, it's all my fault, you know, like I'm just such a contradiction. But I don't know, just enjoy being there for people, whether they know they need it or they want it, or because a lot of the time, like I think the problem with mental health in general is the approach is to solve problems, but like sometimes you don't have to do that. It's okay to say, hey, there's a problem, but like not immediately attack it. Like I know for me, there have been plenty of times when I'm depressed, feeling suicidal, and I don't want to talk about it. That's just how I feel. I'm just trying to get through it. And somebody coming into my room or wherever I am and asking me all these questions and saying all these things to me is just like not helpful. I understand that they're coming from a good place, but the people who like sometimes would just come in and just exist next to me, that's helpful. Just knowing that I'm like physically not alone and that they're just okay with like being around me even when I feel like nobody should be around me. And also, not to mention, like sometimes when and I've done this myself admittedly, you try too hard and then you say something that's like you're trying, like I don't know, that you probably shouldn't have said or didn't need to be said or whatever, and it can almost make things worse or cut people out or push them away. I'm gonna try this. You know, the issue with this is like I haven't really used this build in any way because I haven't like encountered anything to use it on. It's just been like web enemies. I also think that my team is like being pretty gangster. I guess the ultimate test would have been if we would have fought the witch or whatever it's called, the void mom, void mommy. Because we're like at the end of this mission. I'm not complaining. It's been smooth. I've been able to like not hyper focus at all times. So that's
In other words,
but by shifting my focus, I now forget what I was talking about. So that's cool.
What's the code?
Oh, I haven't even used my cool new grenades. Nothing. Although this will be a good place. I already have my ability back. But yet, like, just talk, like, I don't know, just existing with people. I became such a, like, I just became so interested in, like, validating people's emotions. I would, you know, like, almost demean myself in the name of trying to make them feel better. Like, you know, I don't know how you dealt with that or how you've been able to endure this long. I wouldn't have been able to do it. I suck at that. I'm so bad at it. Just like, trying to give them a little bit of a platform to feel pretty decent about themselves. I also wanted to, like, make some more of the taboo stuff less taboo. Suicide. It frustrates me and bums me out that it's like something that's so taboo that people feel like they can't talk about it. Now, it's a horrible thing in all facets. And the victims of suicide aren't more often the people who survive, the people that are left behind, for lack of a better term. Like, I know it's a taboo, sensitive subject that nobody wants to talk about, but I think it's so important. And I remember being in mental health first aid class, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's like first aid, but for somebody experiencing a mental health crisis. And I was in there with like first responders, like police officers and EMTs, and just like all walks of life that could encounter a mental health crisis. And we went through a lot of stuff, obviously. A lot of just like general crisis intervention. One of those things is, you know, somebody with suicidal ideation tendencies or thoughts or whatever. And so I'm in there with these first responders and stuff and all these other people. We start to talk about suicide, and the conversation just kind of like, oh yeah, I'm an idiot. Conversation just kind of takes that awkward turn that like where people didn't want to talk about it, and they start to talk about all this statistical, analytical data, which I'm not saying isn't important, but I don't think it should be the focal, you know, like, oh, well, 75% of, you know, this group of people don't attempt suicide in this way because of vanity reasons, or whatever. Again, I think those are interesting, important things to know, but I don't think those should be the focal point. So I like raised my hand. I was like, why does that actually matter in the crisis intervention aspect? Like understanding why somebody's doing something doesn't need to be the focus. Like, you can get to that later. We're talking about like helping this person in the moment. We don't need to understand why or agree with them, frankly, but especially right now, like, let's get this person to a safe space, a comfortable space, mentally, physically. Let's actually help this person. Why are we... It just like drove me nuts. So after that, I just was like, always, anytime I had a platform to talk about something like that, I would always try to do it. And I guess in some type of way, that's what I'm doing right now. And I can almost guarantee you, like, if anybody, actually watches this or leaves comments or likes, dislike, like it's gonna be a spread. And I would imagine, I'm guessing that it's gonna be a mostly negative reception, but I think it's important to have like safe places to talk about stuff and be open to discussions and share our experiences, because that's how you learn. You know, mistakes are often only mistakes if you let them be. Like, if you learn from it, then it's a lesson. And it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to learn. It's okay to take bad situations and extract good things from them. I remember, like, suggesting that people write in a diary or write down what they want to say to somebody in therapy or something before they do it. And some people would say stuff like, oh, well, you're just like you're not being genuine then, or something. Like, no, there's nothing wrong with like trying to get your ducks in a row a little bit before you talk about something, especially when it's really sensitive stuff. And for me, where the hell am I? You like exit in a different, oh, interesting. Microwave Wizard, sick name. When I start rolling with some stuff, if you haven't noticed, it's easy for me to ramble, lose track, forget what I was going to talk about. So like writing some poignant, important, vulnerable notes down would be very helpful sometimes. Anyways, I digress. This is again our, I don't know, an experiment, a test visit with the local O.G.R.Y.N. Again, if you don't understand that joke, I'm sorry, but I still love you 100%.